Recently, Netflix came to Australia and I fell in love instantly. It is just the best thing ever. But it does make me wonder, if TV can do so well online, then why aren't all the different movie studios building their own type of Netflix websites so that they can release their movies there at the same time as they're out in theaters? So if people don't want to have to drive all the way out to the theaters to see them opening night, they can just pay for them online and just watch them on their PC or their iPad or something. Right now, studios take half of the box office takings because the cinemas take the other half. But if people were watching these on websites for the same price, they don't have to split the money with anyone because it's their movie on their website. That's a 100% increase in profits. Not only that, but that would also combat some of the movie piracy as well, because nobody would risk getting a computer virus downloading a pirated movie if they can get a clean and legal one opening day anyway. So if they would make more money at the box office and they would save more money from movie piracy, why are they not doing this? So having done a bit of research to find out, not only am I now positive that this is exactly what will eventually happen, but I'm also positive that it will be an overwhelmingly good thing for everybody when it does happen. Well, not for the cinemas because they'll be out of business, but for everybody else, it'll be a good thing. The online world has already changed the way that we buy music, the way that we buy books, and is already changing the way that we watch TV. Half of all internet usage during prime time in North America is from streaming. So people are already going to the internet more and more as a source of like television. The WWE, the most popular cable TV show ever, is now pushing their own Netflix style of website because they know that this is the way the tide is turning. But movies releasing online is a lot more tricky. Why so, you ask? Because of the cinemas themselves. As you may or may not know, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2, the sequel to the extremely popular first movie, is going to be coming out in early 2016, and it will actually be the first ever movie to be released on Netflix at the same time as it's going to be coming out in cinemas. And when this was announced, how did the cinemas respond? That's right, in the United States and Canada, the cinema chains have refused to show this film. But why would they do that? It's because they know that if this becomes a trend, they're in serious trouble. So they're refusing to show it in an effort to try and sink that movie to discourage anyone else from following suit. But it's not going to sink that movie though, because it's a Chinese movie, so the Chinese cinemas are still going to show it. And, you know, China's a big enough market to ensure that it will be okay. But regardless, when this movie comes out, all eyes in Hollywood are going to be watching it very closely in America. Because if this movie is still a financial success in America and Canada, even though it's not playing in cinemas, then that is a game changer for the entire industry. That sends the message to all of Hollywood that you do not need to split your money with the cinemas to make a profit, and that will be the beginning of the end for cinemas. Because someone like me, I live out in the country, my nearest cinema is 45 minutes away, and that's each way. So that's an hour and a half in the car, plus the two to 3 hours extra for seeing the movie, so that's a huge chunk out of the day. Just to see a movie, that's a big outing, not to mention just the petrol costs of driving that far. So if I could just pay the same price as a movie ticket online and just watch it from home, you bet I would definitely do that. Of course I would. Why wouldn't I? And you know, a lot of parents that have young kids, they're not able to go out and see the movies that they want to see. Because if they go to the movies and they take the kids, they have to see something that the kids will like. But if they want to see something that they like, then they got to arrange a babysitter to look after the kids, and it's this whole thing. So they would absolutely love if movies were released on Netflix at the same time as they are in the theaters, because then they could view it from home. That's part of the reason why Netflix is so popular now. But you know what? Not only would Netflix killing off the cinemas be better for all of us because it's greater convenience, but it would also be better for movies themselves. You know how Hollywood is often like scared of taking big risks with movies? They're afraid of trying new things because they don't want to lose money, understandably. Well, the extra cash that would come from not having to split money with cinemas would ease that financial crunch, so movies would be free to take more of a risk and experiment with new things, giving us stuff that we want to see. That's actually already happening with Netflix. A lot of those shows, those TV shows, are miles ahead of the traditional TV shows, and it's for this very reason. But for all of us, getting to that day is not going to be easy because the cinemas will fight to try and stay relevant. Any movie studio that even hints at doing what Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2 is doing will probably also get banned and not shown in theaters. So starting with this movie, we could kind of be about to see like the beginning of a war here. It all hangs on how this movie goes. If it survives without the cinemas, then it'll be a Mexican standoff between the cinemas and movie studios. Who's gonna draw first and take that chance? You know, I could imagine Marvel taking on the cinemas with something like this in the future. Marvel might say, okay, we're gonna make a movie around some lesser known character and we're gonna release it on Netflix at the same time as it is out in cinemas, and if the cinemas try to ban it, Marvel will be like, hey, we're Marvel, we're big enough to take a hit like that, so we're doing it no matter what. Because you know Marvel has already started making inroads to Netflix with shows like Daredevil, and once a big movie studio has done that, then the floodgates will be open and everyone will start doing it, and that'll be the beginning and the end for cinemas. To quote the Emperor,
"It is unavoidable. It is your destiny."
But don't get me wrong, I don't think that cinemas will ever become like completely extinct, because the convenience of watching a movie from home cannot compare to like opening night of a big blockbuster where everyone in there is a massive fan and the air is just electric with excitement. There's no substitute for that, so that's why I think cinemas will always be around, but they'll probably go the way of like the music and the bookstores, where they're still out there, they're just a lot harder to find, there's a lot less of them. And whatever cinemas are left will have to work a lot harder to get people to actually go, by doing things like getting more comfortable seats, by having staff being more proactive to shut people up who are talking during the movie, or doing stuff like, you know how some cinemas will like serve you beer and food like during the movie? They'll have to start doing stuff like that, and that's good for us. This is all good for us. And I wish that day was here now, but we're probably going to have to go through a period of like cinemas kicking and screaming first. But I believe we will get there eventually. I can see a future where like movies are kind of like sporting events. You can pay your money to go and like see it with the hardcore fans, or you can just watch it from home. Imagine that. Imagine like calling up all your friends and saying, hey, this Saturday's opening day for like the Justice League movie. Let's get all the guys together, let's have a barbecue, we'll crack a few beers, and we'll watch it on my big screen TV. Just like you would a football game. That'd be amazing. I really wish that day was here now. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's inevitable that Netflix or other sites like that will eventually kill off the cinemas? Or do you think that cinemas will always be around because we crave that group experience in viewing? So thanks for watching, but before you go, I want you guys to know that Bandit Incorporated actually now has a proper podcast on iTunes. Yes! Myself and Trey from Podcast Media have just started a podcast called Movie Mania. You can search for it on iTunes, just type in Movie Mania and you'll find us. Or you can also listen to us on SoundCloud. You know, just go to the SoundCloud website, search for us, or get the SoundCloud app on your phone. It's free to download and search for us through that. But yeah, Movie Mania, we've done 3 episodes. 4th one should be up by the time you guys are watching this. And I hope you guys will listen and rate us and all that great stuff. And until next time, I am Bandit, this is Bandit Incorporated, and I will see you guys in the comments. So Prometheus is finally getting a sequel. Filming starts in early 2016, so unless something catastrophic happens between now and then, this is going to happen. So if you're a regular to my channel, you know that I have a somewhat complicated relationship with Prometheus. Let's talk about how that could be done.